Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise, glory, and honor is due to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem Rachak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who were well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the men of the Lord that are prophesying, preaching and teaching in the highways and byways of sincerity and truth. Shalom Barakatham. I'm just going to say a few words, man, in transit on the matter of working out your own salvation. I got the precept pulled up in Philippians, but I wanted to bring that up, man, because it's important to remember that we got to be willing to be a loner in this truth. Now we know that there's the brotherhood, and as a matter of fact, the lesson I saw one of the elders do recently on the topic of brotherhood is what made me think about this. Well, just on the balance side of it, it's like, yeah, the brotherhood is there for you, man, and it's there for a reason. Like, we need the brotherhood, but there's also the other balance of it, in the sense that nobody else is going to save you. There's still an individual work that you got to do. There's still an individual requirement, a barrier to entry, so to speak. You know, and the beginning of that is really faith, man. You know, it's faith, and it's faith in the Most High, faith in Hamashiach, and then it's fear of the Lord. You know, ultimately that's really what it boils down to. But I'll get it real quick. Philippians chapter 2 verse 12. It says, "Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, for it is the Most High which worketh in you both to will and to do good of His pleasure." All right, and that's really kind of like the main key focus that I wanted to focus on, man. Is all brothers have individual work that they got to do on themselves. All right, this is the contrast of the brotherhood, because you got to remember, a brotherhood is not a good brotherhood if the individual components of it aren't upkept. You know, what quality of brotherhood are you going to have if no brother is taking this thing seriously? They're all reliant on someone else, you know, to teach them things, to break down things. You got to be what you call a go-getter in this truth, man. All right, you got to be what you see on job qualifications. You know, it'll use words like self-starter. You know, that's kind of how you have to look at this truth, man. You know, honestly, you know, as the more and more I think on it, the balance of all of it is really, really beautiful, man. And I think we're coming into the times now where the hour of temptation is getting ready to be brought up on you. You know, and in that day, the brotherhood is not going to be available, man. Nobody can take the test for you. Nobody can give you the answer. All right, it's just going to have something that you're going to have to man up and do. So what are you doing now in the meantime, all right, to build up your spirit, to build up your mind? What investments are you making spiritually into yourself, you know, over a longer period of time? You know, at the end of the day, man, your faith is going to be tested. All right, it's easy to have faith when everything's all good, man, but when you got, you know, a gun pointed in your face, or maybe a guillotine over your head, it's like, what's your response then, you know? And that's just a question we got to ask ourselves daily, brothers, you know? So I'm going to go over. One of the brothers left his sword in my car, so I'll put it to use real quick while I'm driving here. Be home shortly. But this is John, the book of John, chapter 6, and start at verse 27. It says, "And Yahushua answered them and said, Verily, verily I say unto you," it says, "Ye seek me because ye saw the miracles," right? "But because ye did eat the loaves and were filled. All right. Let me read that again. Actually, I skipped it. Salakia. It says, I say unto you, ye seek me, not because ye saw the miracles, but because ye were filled with the loaves and were filled with the Spirit, man. So that's what Yahweh Shai is breaking down, is their primary motivator, right? Didn't have nothing to do with any of the spooky stuff, because you got to remember, guys are going to come in when miracles start happening, man. There's going to be a lot of phonies to sift through, a lot of camp elders and leaders, man. They're going to have that work cut out for them, just discerning who's just trying to discern who's legitimate or not, you know. But it says when Yahweh Shai speaking, he's speaking to the elect, really, because it says you didn't come in because of the miracles, you came because you were filled, meaning there was something in you that kept driving, and that's in you individually as a person, man. All right. And it says, verse 28, verse 27, Salakia, it says, labor not for the meat which perisheth, but for that meat which endureth unto everlasting life, which the Son of Man shall give unto you. For him the Most High, the Father, has sealed, man. All right. So we should be seeking after the things that are everlasting in this thing, man. You know, and that's all anchored on faith, man. All right. That's all anchored on faith, our individual faith, man. Not faith in some other man. And there are a lot of great men in this thing. A lot of great teachers, you know, but ultimately the scriptures say we have to be persuaded in our own mind. We have to have that faith rooted in us. We have to want that same treasure that's being spoken about here in John individually, man, not because we see a bunch of other brothers that want it, or it seems cool to do right now, you know. That faith in Yahweh Shai is about to become paramount, man. Extremely, extremely important. You see? And if you're caught lacking in that day, man, you know, the judgment is going to be horrific, man. That's why on the balance side of it, it says, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. All right, fear is a very, very important metric in terms of what's going to get you saved out of here, man. Because basically, if you don't have that, man, you're not going to make it. No nigga that's proud is getting on the chariots. No nigga that think he can save himself, he gonna get carnal and do shit on. Nobody that thinks like that, the Lord is coming back for, man. That's how you need to see it, man. This is a prerequisite for salvation, man. So you have to move accordingly, you know. But yeah, man, that's basically all I really wanted to say on that, man. Keep this real short, real brief. It's a little in transit. But yeah, man, work out your own salvation, man. Be persuading your own mind, you know. Build up your faith, man, because we're about to come into a time where we're about to get tested, basically, you know. So, you know, with that, I'll end it there, man. Lord willing, this was edifying. Call hello Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai, Hashem Rachakadash, Wa Abba Bubal, Shalom.